Milo is mid-conversation, and someone asks him a simple question. Nothing loaded, nothing personal, and without even deciding to, his eyes drift to the floor, the wall, his own hands, anywhere but the person's face. He's not lying. He's not hiding anything. He's not even nervous about this specific moment. But somehow, holding eye contact feels like holding your breath underwater. If that's you, stick around, because what's actually happening has almost nothing to do with confidence. Here's what nobody tells you about people who avoid eye contact. It's not shyness in the way most people assume, and it's definitely not a sign of dishonesty, no matter what every crime drama has taught you to believe. There's something specific happening in the nervous system, and once you understand it, that lifelong feeling of, why can't I just look at people normally, finally starts to make sense. Let's start with what eye contact actually does to the brain, because it's far more intense than most people realize. When two people look directly into each other's eyes, it activates something called the social gaze network, a set of brain regions that process not just vision, but emotional evaluation, intention reading, and social threat detection, all at once. Your brain isn't just seeing a face. It's rapidly trying to answer a string of unconscious questions. Do they like me? Are they judging me? What are they about to say? Eye contact is information dense in a way almost nothing else in a conversation is, and for some people that density is simply too much to process while also trying to think of what to say next. Psychologists call this cognitive load, and here's the part that explains everything. Maintaining eye contact and thinking clearly actually compete for the same mental resources. A well-known study found that when people were asked a difficult question while maintaining eye contact, their ability to generate a coherent answer measurably dropped compared to when they looked away. Looking away isn't avoidance. It's often the brain quietly reallocating resources, freeing up processing power to actually think, which means for a lot of people, glancing away mid-sentence isn't discomfort. It's their brain doing exactly what it needs to do to keep the conversation going. But wait, there's a deeper layer for people who avoid eye contact consistently, not just occasionally. For some, direct eye contact doesn't just use up mental resources, it actually triggers a mild activation in the amygdala, the brain's threat detection center. This shows up especially in people with social anxiety or high sensitivity to perceived judgment. Sustained eye contact can unconsciously register as a challenge or an evaluation. Similar to how prolonged staring functions in a lot of the animal kingdom as a dominance signal. The nervous system doesn't always know the difference between a friendly conversation and mild social danger. It just knows eyes are locked on it. And locked eyes have historically meant pay attention. Something important, possibly threatening is happening. This connects to something researchers call gaze aversion as regulation, where looking away isn't a failure to engage. It's an active strategy the nervous system uses to keep itself calm enough to stay in the conversation at all. Without it, some people would feel so overwhelmed they'd struggle to stay present, let alone respond thoughtfully. In other words, looking away sometimes isn't the sign of someone checking out. It's often the exact thing keeping them from shutting down completely. There's also a quieter, more personal layer to this for a lot of people. Eye contact can feel intensely exposing, almost like being truly seen, rather than just looked at. For people who grew up in households where emotional expression wasn't particularly safe, where a certain look from a parent meant disapproval was coming, the eyes became associated early on with evaluation rather than connection. Meeting someone's gaze as an adult can unconsciously trigger that same old bracing response, even when the person in front of them has done nothing but ask a normal question. Here's something that might completely shift how you see this pattern. People who struggle with eye contact are very often deeply perceptive, sometimes almost too perceptive. They pick up on micro-expressions, tone shifts, and subtle changes in body language that most people walk straight past. And that heightened awareness is exactly why direct eye contact feels like so much at once. They're not missing information during a conversation. If anything, they're absorbing more of it than most people, which is precisely why it becomes overwhelming to hold a gaze and process language simultaneously. It's worth saying clearly, because a lot of people quietly carry shame about this without ever naming it. Avoiding eye contact doesn't mean someone is cold, dishonest, or disinterested. Often it means the opposite. It means their nervous system is working overtime to stay present, regulated, and thoughtful in a moment that for most people barely requires any effort at all. The goal was never to force constant eye contact until it feels natural through sheer repetition. It's understanding that connection doesn't actually require unbroken staring to be real. A warm tone, genuine listening, and eyes that return every so often communicate presence just as clearly as a locked, unwavering gaze, sometimes even more so, because it feels human instead of performed. If you've ever caught yourself looking away mid-sentence for no obvious reason, hit subscribe. And if you want to understand why some people can't stop overthinking every single conversation replay after it's over, that video is going to explain more than you expect. Click it.